And I want my student leaders here to pay close attention, because really I feel like the transformational change that's needed in our communities for our children, you're that group. You know, stay woke. But still, even in your age group, there are those who have to wake up. You can't stay what you're not. You got to get woke before you can stay anything. But I want us to think about this. The wise man once gave me this quote, and it goes like this. For my anybody here who is my math department, he or she who prescribe the diameter of your knowledge controls the circumference of your activity. He or she who prescribes the diameter of your knowledge controls the circumference of your activity. And what has been our activity? Are we actively involved in changing the reality of systemic racism? You got to go back to who prescribed the diameter of your knowledge if the answer is no. Are we truly educated? When you go into black communities, do you see all up and down the main boulevard black businesses, which is an indication of life itself? Business is life. If the answer is no, you got to go back to who prescribed you that diameter of knowledge, and we see how educated you are by the circumference of your activity. So I want to tell you the good news, because I dropped a lot of heavy stuff on you just for I want to tell you the good news. The good news is that there's an awakening taking place within our community. There is an awakening. There is a desire to push past the old way of doing things. The things that are divisive, the things that build distrust. I mentioned my brother Shamik Robinson over there because we have come together as presidents of two different black educational organizations, along with organizations like the Eagle Academy Foundation, a research group out of Columbia University called BERC, Black Education Research Collective, and with allies like the United Way. And we have all met for over a year. And we said, what do we need to do to begin to decolonialize the curriculum? And the number one thing that we said that there's a need for, just like with the students in higher ed, we said we need a Black Studies curriculum for K to 12 in New York City, within the New York City Department of Education. Why do I have to go to the movies to find out that black women helped put a man on the moon? Why do I gotta wait till the 100th anniversary of Black Wall Street to know about Black Wall Street and what took place? Because it's intentionally not taught, and it really kills me. All right, let me get on the soapbox for 1 second, or the other soapbox. It kills me when people say, when you start talking black history, we don't want that critical race theory. This is gonna be good for America. It's not gonna be good for America, for black children and all children to know what black people did. Why? What's wrong with you? As Dave Chappelle would say, something's wrong with you. Huh? No. It just really amazes me that that is the response when we start talking about Black history. Well, you need to be more inclusive. We're trying to be inclusive. We're trying to include what you excluded. What are you talking about? So it's going to take student leaders. We're going to need you to join us in what we're doing so that we can make some real transformational change. Because if you know about my father, and when you see me, you see the Father, I got fight in me. And I'm uncompromising in my love of my people and my love of Black children. And I'm not going to allow somebody to tell me that I got to water it down to make them feel comfortable when I have been dealing with oppression all my life. And then when I yell out against that oppression, you say it nice. I ain't got to say it nice. You ain't do it nice. Hello? So, myself and these organizations, BU, we all came together. And we worked with the city council, the Black, Latino, Asian caucus of the city council. We met with them for over a year. It was the first time, this is the awakening, it was the first time that you had Black educators, Black elected officials sitting in a room and actually talking to each other. So the first thing that was revolutionary was that we had operational unity between Black educational organizations, but it didn't stop there. We then were able to meet first on the state level with people like Senator Leroy Comrie, who was very instrumental in pulling Black electeds throughout the state to say, how can we get behind this and do something? And then we found out that it would be easier to get it done in New York City and then go back to the state. Fast forward, the result was that for the first time, City Council earmarked $10 million towards the implementation of a Black Studies curriculum, interdisciplinary in its rollout, K to 12, for all schools in New York City. Because it is just as important for other children to know what we have done. The problem in America is a knowledge problem. The violence on the streets is a lack of knowledge of who we are. The racism that we see by the policies, that is where the real violence starts, is in the violent policies that put us in poverty. Is due to a lack of knowledge. And if you want to change the reading scores, imbue the children in the school with the sense of purpose and self-esteem and self-love, and watch the reading scores and the educational gap close overnight. It's not separate. It is not that if you teach Black history, you're ignoring math, science, English, engineering, architect. You know why? Because once you teach Black history, you're going to find out that we're the authors of math, science, English, architect. And that's the big secret that nobody wants to talk about. Because if you talk about it, then you have to talk about, well, who put us in this condition? And therein lies the resistance. That's a you problem. It's not an our problem. So we're excited about that. Our children will learn about ancient Egypt and its influence on Greece and Rome. They will learn about the University of Timbuktu and Kemet. They will learn about the struggle, the plight, the accomplishments of Blacks in America. But they will also learn about the struggle, the plight, the accomplishments of our brothers and sisters from Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, Just we can learn about the Italians who came here and did a great service to America. Right? They did. I'm not making this is real. Our Irish brothers and sisters did a great service to America. And we learned that they came fleeing this or a famine that. We learned this in school. Well, what about our brothers and sisters who are black immigrants that come from all these different wonderful places? What's their story? And what have they contributed to the development of America? That's why we didn't call it African American studies. We said black studies because we're including everybody in the diaspora. This is inclusive, right? And so I'm going to close and just say that I'm excited about the new reality. We encourage you to join us. Be you, join Ebony. Let's connect the dots between the educators in the K-12 space and the educators in higher ed, because the teacher preparation programs have to be aligned with the new curriculum that is coming. And so you'll be hearing a lot more. We have like pilot programs happening right now as we speak, design labs. We have professional development that's getting ready to be rolled out. The process is actually happening now. And we have what is called a commission. And I want to tell you about this commission. The commission is an opportunity for you to join us in the development of this Black Studies curriculum, because we understand that we're going to need all New Yorkers. This is not just Black New Yorkers. We want diverse representation on this commission, because in order to teach all students, we have to bring everybody to the table around this. And so I'll send the link out to Dr. Barron so that she can share it with this community. If you are interested in becoming a part of our commission, so that as we roll out the curriculum, you can tell us, nah, this doesn't really work in the K-12 or the kindergarten, or you need to really, this is not clear. We need that feedback. We need your knowledge. We need your scholarship, because we're going to do this together. This is not about one particular group. Like I said, it's not about us working like in silos. This is about us working together as a community to create real transformational change. Thank you for listening. It has been my honor.
Oh my God. If you awake, then you got woke today. I think we got woke. Thank you so much. What an awesome